Have you ever watched a squirrel dash across a park or your backyard with a nut clutched tightly in its mouth? Instead of stopping to eat it immediately, the squirrel suddenly begins digging a small hole in the ground. It carefully places the nut inside, covers it with soil, scatters leaf over the spot, and then runs away as if nothing happened. A few minutes later, it repeats the same behavior in another location. This raises an interesting question. How does a squirrel remember where it buried hundreds or even thousands of nuts? Even more surprisingly, why does it spend so much time burying food instead of simply eating it? The answer reveals one of the nature's most fascinating examples of animal intelligence, planning, and survival. Although squirrels have tiny brain compared to humans, their food storing behavior demonstrates remarkable memory, problem solving abilities, and adaptation to changing seasons. Today, we are going to explore why squirrels bury nuts, how they remember their hidden places, why they sometimes intentionally deceive other animals, and how their everyday activities help create the forest we enjoy today. Let's begin by understanding why squirrels hide food in the first place. The squirrels live in environments where food availability changes dramatically throughout the year. During the spring and summer, trees produce flowers, fruits, berries, and seeds. For squirrels, this is a season of abundance. Food is everywhere, and there is far more than they can possibly consume immediately. Let's begin by understanding why squirrels hide food in first place. The squirrels live in environments where food availability changes dramatically throughout the year. During the spring and summer, trees produce flowers, fruits, berries, and seeds. By the late summer and autumn, many trees begin producing enormous quantities of nuts. For squirrels, this is a season of abundance. Food is everywhere, and there is far more than they possibly consume immediately. However, squirrels instinctively know that this abundance will not last forever. Winter is approaching. Once temperature falls, many trees stop producing seeds and fruits. Snow may cover the ground for weeks or months, making fresh food difficult to find. During these harsh conditions, finding enough food every day can become a serious challenge. Instead of relying on luck during winter, squirrels prepare months in advance. They gather nuts during autumn and store them for future use. Scientists call this behavior food catching. A cache is simply a hidden storage place where food is kept until it is needed. By creating hundreds or even thousands of caches, squirrels built an enormous natural pantry spread throughout their territory. Unlike humans, the squirrels cannot store food in refrigerators, cupboards, or warehouses. Nature has provided them with different solutions. The entire forest becomes their storage room. Every tree, fallen logs, flower beds, and patch of soil can become part of their food reserve. A cache is simply a hidden storage place where food is kept until it is needed. By creating hundreds or even thousands of caches, squirrels built an enormous natural pantry spread throughout their territory. Unlike humans, squirrels cannot store food in refrigerators, cupboards, or warehouses. Nature has provided them with a different solution. The entire forest becomes their storage room. Every tree, fallen log, flower bed, and patch of soil can become part of their food reserve. Interestingly, squirrels do not place all their food in one location. Imagine if you store all your money in a single wallet and accidentally lost it. Everything would disappear at once. Squirrels avoid this problem through a strategy called scattered hoarding. Instead of making one large storage site, they create hundreds of tiny caches spread over the large area. One nut may buried beneath an oak tree, another beside a rock, another near fallen branch, and several more underneath piles of leaves. If another squirrel or a crow or mouse or even a human discover one hiding place, only a small portion of the squirrel's food is lost. The remaining hundreds of caches remain safe. This also reduces spoilage. Nuts stored together in damp soil could become moldy or attract insects. By spacing them apart in well-drained locations, squirrels increase the chances that their food remain fresh for months. Nature has shaped this behavior through millions of years of evolution because animals that spread their food survive winter more successfully than those that stored everything in one place. Choosing where to bury food is not a random decision. A squirrel carefully examines its surroundings before digging. It often selects locations where the soil is soft enough to dig quickly but strong enough to protect the nut. Areas beneath the fallen leaves provide excellent camouflage because the squirrel can easily hide any sign of digging. Some squirrels prefer places near tree roots because these locations remain relatively stable throughout the year. Others choose open, grassy areas where landmarks are easy to recognize. They may also avoid locations with excessive moisture because wet conditions increase the risk of fungal growth that could damage stored food. Researchers have observed squirrels pausing before burying a nut, looking around carefully, and even rotating the nut in their paws before placing it into the soil. These behavior may seem simple, but they demonstrate careful decision making rather than random instinct. Perhaps the most astonishing part of the squirrel behavior is their ability to find hidden food months later. Scientists have discovered that squirrels rely primarily on spatial memory. Instead of memorizing every individual hole, they built detailed mental maps of their environment. Imagine walking through your neighborhood. You probably remember where your home is, where nearby shops are located, and where roads lead to school or work. You may not remember every step you take, but you recognize important landmarks that guide you. Squirrels use a similar strategy. Large trees, rocks, bushes, fallen logs, fences, streams, and even unusual pattern of vegetation become reference points in their mental maps. When they return to the retrieve food, they navigate by remembering the relationships among these landmarks rather than searching randomly. Experiments have shown that squirrels can recover a remarkably high percentage of their buried food even after several months. Their memory is especially important considering that some individuals create more than 3,000 catches during a single autumn season. Memory alone is not enough. A squirrel's sense of smell also plays an important role. Although many people assume squirrels simply smell every buried nut, research suggests the reality is more complex. When squirrels already remember approximately where a catch is located. Smell helps them pinpoint the exact location beneath soil, leaves, or even snow. During winter, nuts may be buried under several centimeters of snow, making visual landmarks difficult to see. Their keen noses allow them to detect subtle odors escaping from buried seeds. This combination of spatial memory and smell makes squirrels extremely efficient food finders. Rather than wandering aimlessly, they navigate to the correct area using memory and then use scent to locate the exact catch. Young squirrels are not born with perfect memory like human children. They learn through experience. Juvenile squirrels spend months exploring their surroundings, climbing trees, investigating rocks, and protecting burying food. Each successful catch strengthens their understanding of landscape. Repeated exploration gradually built a detailed cognitive map that helps them survive future winters. Scientists believe that this constant learning improves both memory and navigation throughout the squirrel's lifetime. Not every squirrel remember every catch. In fact, forgetting is surprisingly common. Depending on the environmental conditions and food availability, squirrels may fail to recover a significant percentage of nuts they bury. At first, this seems like a disadvantage, but nature often turns apparent mistakes into the ecological benefits. Many nuts remain buried in the suitable soil where moisture and temperature conditions are ideal for germination. Instead of being eaten, these forgotten seeds begin growing into young trees. Over many years, countless oaks and other trees appear on the earth from these forgotten seeds. Because squirrels transport seeds away from their parent trees before burying them, they help spread forest across larger areas. This reduces competition among seedlings and increasing the chances that new trees survive. Ecologists often describe squirrels as nature's accidental foresters because their everyday survival behavior contributes directly to the forest regeneration. Without squirrels and other seed catching animals, many forests would look very different today. Of course, squirrels are not the only animal interested in hidden food. There are many other animals, including blue jays, crows, mice, rats, and even other squirrels constantly search for the opportunities to steal catches. Squirrels have evolved fascinating ways to reduce theft. If another squirrel appears to be watching, the food owner may suddenly change its behavior. Instead of burying the nut, where instead it dig a shallow hole, pretend to place the nut inside, cover the empty hole, and then secretly carries the nuts elsewhere. Scientists call this deceptive catching. It is one of the clearest examples of strategic deception outside human and some primates. By creating fake catches, squirrels mislead potential thieves and increases the likelihood that their real food remain undiscovered. Some squirrels even wait until observers leave before making genuine catches, demonstrating remarkable awareness of their surroundings. Different squirrel species use different storage strategies depending on where they live. Strategy reflect the environmental conditions, predators, climate, and food sources available to that particular species. Climate change is the beginning to influence squirrel behavior as well. Warmer winters can alter the timing of seed production and food availability. Changes in rainfall affect tree growth, while urban expansion replaces forest with buildings and roads. Remarkably, squirrels are adapting. In cities, they now collect food from parks, gardens, bird feeders, and even human leftovers. They use fences, buildings, sidewalks, and ornamental trees as a landmarks just as naturally as they once relied on rocks and forest trails. Despite these changes, the basic behavior remains the same. Whether living deep inside a forest or in the middle of the busy city, squirrels continue burning food, remembering catch locations, and helping disperse seeds. Researchers continue studying squirrels because they provide valuable insights into the animal intelligence. Their navigations abilities help scientists understand how brains create mental maps. Their memory strategies inspire research in neurosciences, robotics, and even artificial intelligence, where engineers seek efficient methods for storing and retrieving spatial information. What appears to be a simple act of burying a nut is actually result of millions of years of evolution, producing behaviors that balance memory, decision making, risk management, and environmental adaptation. So next time you see a squirrel racing across a lawn with an acorn in its mouth, pause for a moment. That tiny animal is not simply hiding lunch, it is planning for the future, protecting itself against uncertain seasons, outsmarting competitors, navigating using remarkable memory, and unknowingly planting the forest of tomorrow. Next time you walk beneath the shade of a towering tree, consider this possibility. Decades ago, a squirrel may have buried a single forgotten nut in exactly that spot. What seems like a tiny mistake become the beginning of a magnificent forest. That is one of the nature's most beautiful stories where survival, intelligence, and ecology come together through the simple act of burying a nut. For more videos related to animals and animals fact, do not forget to like and subscribe our channel ZooSphere.